Hello class, my name is Kevin Steele, and other members of my group are Elizabeth Johnson, Lisa Gustafson, and Yanni Adair, and this is our curricular adaptation project. When choosing a population, we believe the most applicable and growing minority population in America, as specifically in the New South, is the Latino population. So this is a subset that we wanted to work with. Additionally, we wanted to work in the adolescents group. Lisa and Elizabeth in our group members expressed a preference and have actually already worked with this group in the past. We believe a good overarching subject would be social studies, as that's taught throughout students' educational experience. And we wanted to focus on United States history, specifically immigration, and we'll focus on modern day immigration as well as immigration in the past. All right, so some expectations for our project is that we believe our lesson can be used in any mainstream modern high school class in America, and it's definitely going to be good for classes that have an Anglo majority and Latino minority. We believe it can foster better relations and understanding between these groups, and we want to create a supportive space and develop a unit that respects the funds of knowledge of each group. All right, this unit's design is what we believe too often is that lecture-based teaching and lecture-based classrooms, those lessons often get lost because they're too often used. And we wanted to create an engaging and creative design. So what we would do with this is to allow the students' own knowledge and experience to drive their learning and the acquisition of new understanding related to immigration. There's a TED Talk by John Hunter, if you click this link, that shows how he's been able to do this in his 4th grade classroom with game theory. And what game theory is 2 subjects. He takes a group of students and puts them on each side, and they play out an experience. And in our particular instance, we want our students to play out the immigration. All right, and this game would be centered around a fictional immigration scenario that would allow students to make their own discoveries and realities of immigration. So what we're going to do is we're going to have kind of a native population and an immigrant population and see how students interact and what knowledge they can come up with in their experience. We believe this game would generate critical thinking, rich discussion sessions that could connect personal experiences to academic content. So this game is going to be able to create good dialogue between students and their current perspectives about immigration and how their experiences with this game can change them or maybe alter their perspectives. All right, and some history in the U.S. History Common Core Curriculum credits that this game will satisfy. The first one is the student will identify key developments in the aftermath of World War I. So in our academic component of this, we will strive to explain how rising communism and socialism in the United States led to the Red Scare and immigrant restriction. Also, we could tie that in with post-World War II and the Second Red Scare, and also how McCarthyism and his anti-immigrant attitude. Secondly, the student will explain America's evolving relationship with the world at the turn of the 20th century. And an immigrant-related topic we could tie into that is explain the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 and the anti-Asian immigration sentiment on the West Coast. And teachers could also have that lesson tie in to the racial demographic on the West Coast today. And lastly, another standard this game will satisfy is the student will analyze important consequences of American industrial growth, and students will be able to, or teachers will be able to describe Ellis Island, the change in immigrants' origins to Southern and Eastern Europe, and the impact of this change on urban America. So pretty much go through how Ellis Island and the influx of immigrants affected the Industrial Revolution. All right. As for the participant structure, the majority of work that will be done in this unit is going to be done in groups, either in the role-playing situations or in the discussion-based activities that will take place afterwards. Other support staff besides the teacher could be an ESL teacher if students require an ESL teacher being present to communicate with the rest of their classmates. We're also hoping that the class is limited to 20 to 30 students. Anywhere more than this, it could create too chaotic of a workspace, and students wouldn't be able to receive enough direct attention from teachers and other students, because some students could become overpowering and just overwhelm discussion. So we'd like to cap it at around 20 to 30 students. All right. And in this game, students will be unevenly divided into groups. There's going to be a large group, which would be about a third to half of the student population in the class, and then multiple smaller groups, which will be either 2 to 5 students. The larger group is going to play the role of the native population, and I believe I forgot to tell you this, but the population or the setting is going to be in outer space. So there will be a home planet, which that larger group will be a part of, and they're going to be the home planet, and the smaller groups are going to be immigrant populations trying to get into the home planet. And again, this side narrates what I said. Also, each group would have a different language that they're trying to communicate. So we want to make this scenario as real as possible by creating differences among each population. All right, so for the first day in the game, the main homework assignment will be that the students learn their new identity. So what the teacher does to prepare for this is either in binders or pamphlets, create sheets and create identities for the home nation or the home planet per se, and different nationalities from other planets. So we want students to be emotionally involved to their identity going into the game so that they'll be able to put more energy into it. The game overall should last about a week, and at the end of it, we'll ask students to critically reflect on their experiences as either aliens from the home planet or natives to the home planet, and their task will be given to them throughout the game, and how they were able to accomplish those tasks or the obstacles that were in the way of accomplishing those tasks. So we want this to be almost as real of a situation as possible, so so students can really feel that the more human perspective per se of immigration, as opposed to the academic side that can be easily taught through lecture-based classrooms. All right. Now, we also would like to add an English language arts component to our course, and in the Georgia English Common Core curriculum, there's a few requirements, so I'll let you read through those. And for this first one with writing narratives, we believe that the students should engage and orient the problem themselves, and they'll be able to write out in discussion their viewpoints and the different characters and how smooth of a process the game was to them. In the second English language arts requirement, it's pretty much to initiate discussion amongst students on different topics, and obviously the topic for our project will be immigration. And like I said, at the end of the simulation, we want our students to sit down in groups and discuss the difficulties they had accomplishing and the different obstacles that came up when doing the simulation. And for the third English language arts component, we would like for them, or the component is to analyze a particular point of view or cultural experiences reflected in a work of literature. We believe this can be done by the teacher themselves instituting literature into the course, whether it be an article or book or poem, whatever. It's a literature from an outside source, so probably a author that's not stereotypically Anglo-American, and that they can get a new opinion and different perspective from that author that relates to this experience. All right, and that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for watching.